Hey everybody, and welcome back. It's great to see you again. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Matt, the Client Success Manager here at White House Custom Color, and this is
Christina.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. A couple things before we get started. Make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're putting out all kinds of online education and stuff like we're doing today, so make sure and follow along with that. You can definitely follow us on Instagram, WHCC Pro, or you can check out our brand new, shiny, awesome website at WHCC.com. So we're going to talk about cards, and I'm going to kick this to you to begin with here, Christina.
Oh, I didn't know how to do the whole thing today. Well, I do love cards. I am actually the card product owner here at White House, and we have an awesome design team and project managers that work on the card stuff. So I'm really excited to be able to talk about cards.
Absolutely.
So go ahead.
Oh, do you want to talk about use cases to begin with?
Yeah, that sounds like a good spot to start.
So use cases for cards, endless. Let's just go with that.
Yes, I would say that for sure.
So for weddings, for engagements, for first birthdays, for all birthdays, for newborns, for holidays, for you name it, you can have a card for it. And truly, in this day and age, in an online digital world, to get a physical card in the mail is cool. It's meaningful to have a note and to know that somebody cared enough about you to send you a card. And we're lucky enough here at WHCC that we have an amazing tool for photographers to make all these use cases a possibility. Now, I come from an old school where I sat for hours in Photoshop and designed these cards, or designed some cards, not as awesome as these. And it took so much time to do it, and it did become difficult to sell cards. But now with this tool in studio, it's phenomenal. So again, endless use cases for that. So you're probably going to run into a situation where it's going to be hard to narrow the field.
Yep. Are you talking about like what type of card? Or
Yep.
Yeah, I can show you too. So like you said, we have in-house designers that design these cards. They think about cards all day long and all these things. They research trends. So I'll just kind of show you here our awesome tool to get the cards. Okay. So if you go to our website and you can go to your projects, or you can just go right into the card grid. So I have a project started here with the family that I have. So as you can see, I kind of already started a card here, but I'll just go ahead and do one from scratch just so you can see. Perfect. And we'll go ahead and do a holiday one now since it is holiday time. Yep. So it's simple like this. I can click into the holiday card grid, and it will pull up the grid, and it'll actually pull up a lot of these cards here that we see on the table that we can pull here. And I'll go ahead and just start. Let's say I like this card. I think the family will like it. I'm going to go ahead and customize it. Okay. But it's real simple. You can drag in the images, simple drag and drop. You can change the names.
Now keep in mind, as Christina is doing this, literally once you are into designing your cards in studio, it will take you a matter of just a few minutes to design cards. There is really no reason why you shouldn't be marketing and selling cards to your clients for all their occasions. It's a wonderful tool. The work is literally done for you, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different options. So you're not going to reproduce, and you're not going to see your cards everywhere because there is so many different ways to design all the different cards.
Yep, exactly like you said. There is no more excuses anymore not to offer cards, right? Before it was something that would take you a long, long time. Yep. And now it can be something that's super simple. And you can get something that looks really custom, that you can change and be really specific, change it to different foils, to a color, to match any color scheme. You can get printed envelopes with full addressing, the recipient addressing. It's super simple. You can just drag in your Excel file or file right there, and you can actually just kind of click through the different options. You can change the text. It's super simple.
Yeah, definitely. So when you are using the editor for your clients, I think one thing that we really want to touch on here today is it's important, if you are just getting into cards, or say you've been doing it for a long time, you don't want to overwhelm people. That is the surest way to get people to just stop or freeze because they just don't know what direction to go. Yep. So there is the tool within Studio, if you want to show us, Christina, it'd be cool, where you can literally curate your own groups of cards. So if you want to create a 2021 collection, a 2022 collection, you can feature the cards that you want to show your clients, and the design team here is constantly coming out with new and different designs, redefining, redesigning, tweaking. So the card editor is growing literally every day. So it allows you the opportunity to go in and create curated groups to show to your clients so you don't overwhelm them. You can narrow it down to 12, 15 and say, here's your choices. It makes it a lot easier for your clients to pick.
And Matt, you're suggesting, so I go in here, I'm creating a new holiday selection, and let's say I want to send this family a card grid. I can go here and say, oh, these are the cards that actually go with my brand really well. I'm just going to show them these 15 cards instead of showing a family or mom the 20 collections or cards, right?
Yep.
So you do feel like you curated, but like that took me less than 5 seconds probably, right, to save that.
Yep.
And then when I send them their gallery or their picture in there, I could offer them to make that card.
Absolutely. And as quick as this is, depending on how involved you want to be in the card process, you could literally design 8 or 10 different cards for them. It would take you less than a minute a piece and send them on, and that way they can literally visualize and you can help lead them to what's going to look good, to be able to help design, because some people don't have the best taste and they might want you to do it for them, which is a really valuable service to have. So let's talk a little bit about pricing here. I don't want to jump ahead if you.
Nope. I was just going to show some of the actually cool new designs if you want to help hold some of these up, Matt.
For sure.
Just to kind of show you the type of stuff that we have online. But again, these are all new cards. They're designed by our girls in-house, which is really cool. They're unique. And like I said, a lot of them are doing custom designs on the iPad and with their skills and even painting and stuff. Yep, hand lettering and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's new shapes and stuff too.
Yep.
Here, let's see. This is one of our new shapes that's been really popular. It's kind of like a little deckled edge. I don't know if Connor can get that at all. Oh yeah, he's got it.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. And then behind that, in the view, I've got the, I feel like I've got a deck of cards here. This is going to be our complete collection of our awesome envelopes. Now last year we did launch these. These are a Euro flap. So they really are a cool looking envelope. The weight of them is very good. And the envelopes don't have to be plain. You can go through and pick out the design that you like to have. You can do return addressing. You can do recipient addressing like Christina was saying. And literally we just ordered our holiday cards and the recipient addressing is slick.
It is.
It is so slick.
And we strategically picked a lot of these colors, Matt, too. So like you can see our new foil that we launched matches the new nice Euro flap envelope. So you can make it really look high-end and custom if you're doing an expensive card design. And we'll get into pricing here in a minute, right? But you can do some really high quality, high things with the different papers. The soft touch or the smooth matte is really high-end, or like the triple thick or double thick. But again, these designs are really thought out of. It's super simple to make this. If you really, I mean, some people are designers, right? But it would be hard to do this on your own.
Oh,
so I think it's
absolutely. There's endless hours involved in all the design process. So let's talk a little bit about pricing. Now, the way that Studio is designed, or with the cards in mind, is that it's kind of like a sliding scale of how involved you want to be. I tend to be a little bit more of a control freak, so I want to be in charge of how this is done. I want to do the design, I want to prove to the client, I want to be in control, I want to be in communication, so that way if there is a question, concern along the way, I'm able to answer it. Now some people, because of volume or because of the way their business is set up, they'd much rather just let their client design it on their own. Both of these are a possibility and a hybrid in between if you'd like to as well. So when you're pricing, I think it's really important to think about your level of involvement and how much time you're spending with that, because at the end of the day, your time is worth a lot, especially going to the holidays.
Matt, what do you say to someone when they're like, I don't have time, or I can't make any money off cards?
Oh, that's a good conversation right there. Okay, so that is, let's split that into two different questions. I don't have time. Okay, how many of us have ever said that before in our lives? Absolutely. We all know that you make time for what's really important. Now, selling cards is important. It's a wonderful way to literally print money if you want to sell cards. So if you don't have time, I mean, how long do you think it takes, Christina, to build a project in Studio?
I mean, building a project is a little different, but doing a card from start to finish, we say it could take a couple minutes. You know, if it's your first time in there, obviously it could take up to 5 minutes, right?
Yep.
But yes, not that much time.
Right. So if you start off with building a project, which would be what I would say the not enough time option, you put your images into a project, You maybe design one card that'll take you less than a minute. You hit share cards, you copy that link, and you send it to your clients, and you've probably got 5 minutes invested in the first one, and subsequent ones you're going to get quicker at, and you're probably going to be able to narrow that down to 3-4 minutes. Now, why wouldn't you want to sell cards when you have an investment of 4 or 5 minutes and not have to do the work? That is the no time answer right there. And then we'd go into an in-depth demo, which we're not going to take the time to do today. And then what was your second part? I'm sorry, I'm blanking on that.
I can't make money off cards.
I can't make money off cards. Absolutely you can't. That's too bad. I'll just make the money for you. So let's just say that you have a card that, like what you have on the screen right now, Christine, I see that it's a folded or a flat foil. I said the wrong word there. Flat foil, $1.17 out the door. Okay, so that is going to be $1.17 per card with the envelope, includes delivery, all those things to you. What would you expect to pay for a custom card like this? I mean, I would not have any issue with using a multiplier of at least 3 on a card like this. So if you are marketing this to a client, a beautiful custom-made, hand-designed foil card with a beautiful, Euroflop envelope for $3.50 a card all day long. That means you're making over $2 on each card. Why wouldn't you do that?
I think too, it's important to point out too that we've done, there's research all over, right? Because at the end of the day, like you said, if you don't have time for it, they're gonna get it somewhere else. If you there's lots of consumer places, right, that sell cards for a reason, because photographers aren't selling them the card, but they want the card. So why not get that money back to the photographer?
Absolutely.
It also shows that the 60% of people who order a card come back the next year for another card, right? So that's a pretty big statistic for them to come back to you for a card, for something you thought maybe wasn't a high value.
Right. And another little piece of that too is that when you're setting up your original settings in the editor and studio, you can put your website in there, so every card is going to go out with your website address on it. It's not huge, it's not taking over like Shutterfly does on the back of their cards or anything like that. It's just a nice subtle way for when people are getting the cards that you're selling to know where those images were taken, and that is ultimately going to generate sales. You are literally getting paid to do marketing to people's friends and family. So to me, cards are a no-brainer, and with this software that's so powerful, there's no reason not to do it. So
Matt, looks like we got a question too, and don't forget too, we're going to be answering your questions, so go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll go ahead and answer them all along.
All right, sounds good. So Christine, I'll let you take the foil question here.
Do you have green foil? Yes, we have evergreen foil that I think is really beautiful that we have. I see if we have one up here. I don't think we do. Oh, I'm getting pointed to. Yes, we do. I think it's see, Connor can zoom in on that one. Leave it there maybe. Making it tricky on you. Find it.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Just kind of moving that back and forth. That's awesome.
Yep, and then we still have our light blue and the light pink that we added too. The blue looks really pretty with like snowflakes and some other stuff, so we're really excited where we're at with our product line. Yeah,
totally. So let's talk a little bit about how you can get these to people. Couple strong methods there. So of course you can ship them to your studio, to yourself. You can repackage them and deliver them. I think during this time of the year, a drop ship is a wonderful option.
Yeah.
For those of you that haven't drop shipped before and don't know what the packaging looks like.
Well, premium packaging.
Or premium packaging, yes, exactly. Sorry, drop shipping and premium packaging, two different things. I was putting the cart before the horse. You can upgrade and do a premium packaging in a craft box, in a charcoal box. Wonderful presentation. They go directly to your client. They look like they've been custom packaged by you. Again, no White House branding or anything like that attached to them. Great way to drop ship directly from us to your client. Or like I said, you can certainly ship it to yourself and repackage it, or a standard drop ship is available as well. So
yeah, the premium packaging looks really great for cards. The envelopes are packaged in there and it has tissue. It's a really nice presentable option that goes right to your client.
It definitely is. So just to kind of recap here, if you haven't played with Studio before, jump in there and do it. At WHCC.com, get into creating a project and start playing. It has tons of capabilities, not only with cards, but with wall displays, with albums, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. So anyway, thank you for joining us.
Yeah. We have other videos too to help with Studio and some other stuff. And then we do have on our website where you can book time with our customer service. And you could choose, they could walk you through the card grid as well. So that's something pretty cool.
Absolutely. So thank you for joining us. We're going to be back again soon with another product in-depth discussion. So for the time being, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
And I would add sell cards.
Yeah, right.